Oh, hi. This is Lisa Swank with Artful Inspirations. And, the prompt this month in our group 2017 was how have we grown? Art-wise, I can tell you that I think that I have grown quite a bit. Now, if I take you back to, when I was a small child, and I did this horse painting. I used my mom's paints, and it was a Christmas gift for my grandmother. And, I thought that horse was perfect when I did it. I thought that was the best job that I could do at the time. And my mom said that I did this one too, and it was a paint by numbers, and I vaguely remember this, so it must have been prior to me attempting this one. But anyways, and I'm a small child, probably third grade or second grade, something like that. But anyways, but the reason why I'm showing you that, because I'm going to show you my point to this, because I'm not going to actually sit and do a drawing. I'm going to do more of a share. And I have a pretty good share of my journals on my YouTube channel, but my camera is in a different position now, and specifically I want to talk about how I think that I've grown. If I sound a little funny, I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, and it's all kind of, I still have a sinus headache and my ears are still off, and so if I start coughing, I apologize. And but I wanted, I started the journal journey part of my art a few years ago, because I started studying watercolors. And so this journal here has some of my first, let's talk about the people first before I go into the landscapes. And but I started joining art groups online. Just trying to find that little negative. But there are some now I lost it completely. Hopefully the sketchings show up on there. But this was me trying to practice faces. Not that I've ever attempted to paint a face before. But this was just a little practice that I did at around the same time that I started, watching The Frugal Crafter, and then I found Gina Ahrens, because she was a watercolor artist that I stumbled upon. And I like watercolors. But that was my my first real attempt at doing that one I'll save until later but there is this, I accidentally painted her because I was just messing around, and I thought, that kind of looks like a face. And And that's getting back into the other stuff. It's and it's very small, so I probably passed it up. It's with some flowers somewhere. You know, I had ninth grade art. Well, I don't see it in here, but it was kind of a accidental thing that I did, and I just kind of went with it. But anyways, that was my face, and people that knows me have seen these before, of course, but you know, the subject is growth. And here's my first attempt at doing a mixed media page, and this is a girl that I drew. You know, I drew her from scratch, and I thought she came out, I liked the sketch of her, but I remember specifically saying to Claudia and the other teachers over in Crazy Island, journaling Crazy Island style, that these paints dry so quickly and there's no time to blend them. I remember that feeling very well. But that was my first painted face. And, you know, and it's all, you know, here, this is actually me attempting to do the same picture, the same sketch. And, you know, PETA gave me some side guidance. You know, she was clear over in Australia, and she was able to give me a little guidance back and forth through texting, you know, and I would photocopy it, and, you know, but anyways, this was my first attempt, and this was my second attempt, and she came out much better. And this is me. That's a picture of me here. This was one of Gina's lessons about values. And oh, these are really sticking. I gotta get some and basically this figure right here, I think this was one of Gina's too. And you know, I had never painted in different colors like that, let alone a body form, but I drew her. That is my drawing. I did it. And you know, it's kind of unbelievable when I think about it, about how intimidated I was to attempt something like that. And you know, could I improve upon that? You know, if I worked on it more, I probably could. But you know, the really groovy thing about this picture that I like, other than that it was my first form, if you look at this shadow here, it almost looks like a bear standing. The shadow is a bear. I've noticed that ever since I've done that. But that was just kind of a cool thing I wanted to share. And oh yeah, these are sticking. Yeah. And this one I will come back to too. And you know, here's another face. And I was pleased with her, how she came out. I know that she's far from perfect, but I liked her. You know, she was okay. That's what I turned in for my assignment. And I like how it turned out. And you know, I actually, you know, found that I really like doing different colored hairs. And here's another one. It was a watercolor that I overworked, and I decided to save the painting. I was going to go over it with acrylic, and so that's a combination of both. And then this one here was really fun. This was Gina's lesson. Non-traditional skin tones. It looks like a young boy, not a child, but you know, maybe getting into adolescence age to me. And you know, I thought that was really groovy that it turned out like that, and that the hair actually looked like hair, and you know, I was just really pleased with it. And that's a watercolor that I did not last Christmas, the Christmas before. And let's see. Let me see if I like how my hands turned out really well. You know, but there again, it was slowing down and practicing and giving myself permission that I could erase it. And I know that one of these times it's going to come together. And that's what those hands were. And, oh, I really need to get these papers taken care of, or else I'm going to be sorry, I think. And, you know, this is another one of Gina's, was one of Gina's lessons. And, you know, I was really pleased how that turned out. Non-traditional, very, what's the right word for it? Whimsical. She's a ladybug, a pink ladybug. And, I like how it almost feels like I have clear gesso back there. You know, and here's another starting of me learning how to do body form, you know. Same thing with these. It was all new to me. You know, I just decided that I wanted to learn how to do it and do the best I could do at it. And, you know, Claudia said that this was the picture that she had posted because it was her. This is my sketch of her picture that she had done. And it was a perfume advertisement or something. And, you know, if this woman was standing up, this figure, you know, her legs would not look very proportionate with her, you know, her torso, but it worked, you know, and I was pleased with it, you know. And I did the little babies, and the babies are just kind of, you know, globs of paint on there. And, you know, but my point about this is, you know, you practice at it. If you want to learn it, you know, the more you do of it, the better that you're going to get. You know, just like we weren't all born knowing how to tie shoes, you know, or ride a bicycle. You know, you practice to get it down. And so maybe I'll quickly, you know, these were my first faces that first year. You know, and it, you know, I came a long way with the sketches. And then I got better at painting them. I mean, remember the first, you know, she looks purple. And what else? I don't think there was much more that I wanted to hit upon in here. it that I wanted to do. Yeah, I think this is willow wing stuff. Yeah. And so, and you know, that's watercolor practice. Was not the one that I gave away for a gift, but you know, I practiced it. And my you know, some of the faces that I did that Christmas to give away for Christmas, you know, I redid them 5 times. Had to, you know, kind of. And then this was a collage down, and then I painted over her and made her mine. And that's me. This was a Kelly Donovan, and you know, it was the first time that I had used texture paste, and I loved how it got, we grunged it up, you know, I put black paint all over it and you could hardly even see her anymore, and you just take it off at the right time. And you know, I feel like a lot of people that male faces are a little harder to draw, and his eyes are still off, but they work, you know, they work for this piece anyways. And because I'm attracted to doing the let's see, if I just get busy and finish stuff, you know, and this was more form practice. And the next one we're not supposed to show. And you know, I did I misspoke last time I shared. I think I called Cindy Utter's a flashcard faces that we did, 52 card, but it wasn't, it was 55 card, and I misspoke on that before, and of course I didn't know how to use my edit stuff. But you know, this is more of me practicing that same year, just practicing. And you know, this was a collage down out of a magazine, including her head and her face, but I just changed everything and made her mine. Same with that, but I didn't completely paint over the face with that one. I'm just looking for, oh, see, I need to put some of this stuff in here. I still haven't waxed them. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of faces in this one. Turn it over. I think there might be one. This was Gina's too, and you know, one of the techniques that Gina uses is she does not use traditional colors, and I just love how this face turned out, you know. But these were my starts, you know, of how to do them. And then there's one right here. I don't know if you guys could see that one there. You know, and I like how I was getting the hair down, and you know, is she perfect? No, she's not perfect. Okay, so that for the most part is the face stuff. Now, prior to me diving into the face stuff, it was the, I have 2 more faces to show. this, it's a little dirty, but this is it's dusty. This is chalk pastel that I did in a Let's Face It portraiture class. And this was another one that was done. And this was actually my first canvas that I've done. And, you know, she's not perfect, but there's parts of her that I liked and I learned. I'm going to have to hang all these pictures back up. And here is a chalk pastel. My reference picture that I had of this, which is not taped on the back, was actually a watercolor painting. And, you know, I used it for reference. And I thought this had come out so well that I tried it on a bigger sanded paper for my son, and that's what I gave him for Christmas, was that. But you know, it was pretty big. And then this one, there's the reference picture of it. But I did mine in chalk pastel, and he actually did his painting. He was online, and for the Paul Taggett, is that his name? He does YouTube videos. I think that's where I watched him, was on YouTube. But you know, this is my interpretation at the best of my abilities to do this photo. My reference. Oh, a spider! Come here, spider! I just took these down off of the walls. But anyways, you know, and I put my own twist on there. Little teeny people. It's supposed to be my husband and I with the dogs. And there's birds flying around. And, you know. But I practiced, you know, with it. And I liked how it turned out. We're stuck. Oh, what's that? Yeah, see, that is his watercolor of this photo. So this is his watercolor. That's the photograph, and this is his watercolor of that photograph. And then this was my pastel that I decided to try. And I don't know if you guys visit the YouTube channels of the teachers other than just the lesson. But Gina, she's got, she's a very talented lady, and she did Deco Art Monday, which was done in acrylics, and Watercolor Wednesday. And now she's still does Wednesdays. She's just on a break, but it's a mixture of everything, I think. But this is a picture that I did with her on her YouTube channel. And it's acrylic, and it's supposed to be in the Van Gogh style, you know, very textured, the strokes. And I like how that turned out. But the, you know, so I can see that I've grown, especially in my, to me, landscape is easier to do, but I so wanted to do people, you know. I just something about their doing faces intrigues me. And then these are some landscapes that I did, watercolor. Far from perfect, but I like it well enough, you know. And this was a start of another one. This was a peak, a mountain that I was trying to get in there. But I like how the sky turned out in both of those. But this was a peak, and I was going to try to make it, you know, misty and foggy. But for some reason I didn't finish that. But you know, my mom is artistic. She always has been. I always call her my first art teacher. And, you know, from that first portrait picture that I did, over in Journaling Crazy Island style, and this, my first sketches, that was my first painting of a face. You know, I forget his name, but he's an actor. He was on a magazine, and that's what I used for a reference photo. And, you know, I thought it turned out okay. Is it perfect? No, but it's okay. And I think this is charcoal, colored charcoal. And then this one was kind of an abstract-y, you know, this was Let's Face It. And I did this one January 15 of 16. And this was, she just wanted to kind of see where everybody was at, and this was my thing that I turned in. And then this was our mapping of the face, but it turned out pretty well. You know, it fills up the whole page. It's a big face, but it turned out okay. You know, I don't even think I finished the eyelashes on there. I just did one side. And there's my self-portrait, my self-sketch. That's me. And this was a trace for charcoal, and that's me also, of a picture, you know, that I had. And then here, and then these, the teachers for these lessons, it was a little more on the whimsy side, you know, and but the thing that I was trying to get in this picture is to get her looking like she was looking at that bird. And I don't think I nailed it. I think she's looking off. She's not looking straight at the bird. She's looking off. But anyways, this one, I love this picture. Although the hairline's a little funny, but I love how the freckles turned out. Who knew that I could paint freckles? But those are freckles. So I was pleased about that. And that was my sketch, my grandmother. And then this is kind of a whimsy mixed media piece. And you know, I don't think I finished her eyes, because she has I may have finished it like that, but anyways, but I was pleased how that turned out. I liked her hair, and you know, it's just fun. And that's a thick page. And this is kind of like watercolor. I think this is the Caran d'Ache crayons, I think is what that is. And, you know, she didn't turn out perfect, and her lips are a little funny, but I liked how she turned out. You know, it was okay. You know, and this one I just love. Jonah. She's on YouTube too, but she was teaching in that class. And I love my blue girl. I just love her. I love how she turned out. I love how her hair turned out looking like hair. It was, you know, so I was kind of not amazing myself. It was like, yeah, I can do this, you know. And from my first one, my first painting, you know, that's you know, Cindy went through some of her stuff, and you know, the month's almost up, and I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, and so I thought maybe I could just come on and, you know, but that's, you know, you could see the improvement. You know, you could really see it. I see it. And that came with practicing. You know, just practicing. There's another one. I was trying to different, you know, where the eyes go. That wasn't the lesson though, but that's what I was shooting for in this, was trying to look like the eyes were looking in a different spot. This one I was very pleased with. Non-traditional colors again, and the big flowers, and but she turned out pretty good too. This was a practice drawing for this next one, but I really like how she turned out. She turned out pretty well. But she was, the pose and the way she was looking and stuff was practice for this one. And this is another one that has freckles on it, but it's all done in pencil. And I really like how that turned out. And, you know, I was sitting here last night trying to think about what I was going to do, because, you know, I've been enjoying sharing the videos and things with the group. And this one I hadn't finished the hand yet. And matter of fact, I had just gotten shadows in. And for some reason, I like that. I not the hand, but I called her done, even though she wasn't done. Because something about the expression, the look, without blending it, it just, I thought, you know, I'm going to keep it the way it is. And that's what I did. Another kind of looking off a different way, different pose. This was another fantasy one. You know, I'd probably improve upon that hair, but that's okay. I liked it. And that one wasn't done. It's supposed to be of an older lady. Different pose, different look. And this one just is not done. I'm pleased with how this one is coming out, but it's not finished. think that's it. Yeah. Oh no, it's not. Yeah. You know, and I shared these in that first video that I did for the group. And, you know, so I like how I've grown. And I don't think I'm ever going to grow where I don't feel like I couldn't improve upon anything, because part of me is a perfectionist. The other part of me likes the fact that I could paint a green person. You know, I like the abstract-y stuff too. So when I was sitting here last night, I was thinking about what I was going to do for growth. Now, I'm going to go back to my horse picture here, because I drew this horse when I was a small child. And because I have not practiced them enough. You know, you can tell that I haven't drawn too many horse heads. You know, I have driven some of them, but, you know, there's not really much improvement in that. And then I thought, well, you know, and that's when I drew out this face. And that's what I've been kind of concentrating on, is doing faces. That's what I've been wanting to learn. That's what and you know, one of my loves in life are horses, and that's why I would really like to draw them. I just recently found a secondhand book on different breeds of horses. And then this is just my attempt at doing the ballerina with the man, trying to get the sketch out so it looks proportionate. What am I going to do with it after I'm happy with the proportions? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to watercolor it, just make it silhouette, I don't know. But I was practicing a little bit last night. But I drew her lickety split, but see, that's what I've been practicing for the last couple of years, is faces. And, you know, she turned out pretty good. Her eyes are off, but that's okay. Some of those imperfections are okay. It gives that character. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, so that's really, I really don't have an art thing to share with you, because, you know, I think everybody's growth is it's determined who they are. You know, how much time you have, how much time you put into what you want to learn, but nobody is just, you know, it takes practice, and that's what I want to say. And for me, it was learning to let go of making it perfect, because it doesn't have to be perfect. And so that's basically what I wanted to share with you. Hopefully my video is not too long. But you know, with the landscapes, you know, to go back to them, you know, that's watercolor, and me teaching myself, you know, how the colors move. And this is rough paper. I think somebody, or I got a little block of it or something, but this is rough watercolor paper. And, you know, there's watercolor pencils that I was practicing with There's another one. You know, where do I put the highlights, and you know, does this picture actually work? And well, it works good enough for me because I stopped. I liked it. Can I improve? Well, certainly, you know, if I keep practicing at it. And, you know, it's just practice. And what you wanna do. I mean, practicing trees and different shrubs. You know, it's fun to me. And you know, like even with the flowers, you know, it's just practice. I use a crayon resist to retain my whites in that, and it looks like that was Luca's watercolors that I was practicing with, seeing how they work, you know. So, you know, I'm still learning mixed media. I'm still, I just did a design team for Gina's stamps and things, and you know, I'm still learning how to put pages together. You know, the collaging and putting everything down. But anyways, that's my share about growth. And I want to keep growing. I like art. You know, I don't have to do every piece of art that's out there, or even in our group. You know, I do like trying to do the little, you know, the sketches and things in the group. You know, but here again, here's a face. The monkey has a face. He's not finished. I mean, I just roughly sketched him out real quick. And the Eiffel Tower. And that was my crayon drawing. Practicing eye. I think this was Kelly Donovan's Odd Girl that I was trying to attempt to do. And I hadn't finished her. I just got it sketched out. Because with me loving watercolors, it's a dilemma to... What happened to that other one? It's a big journal. Where'd it go? Probably in the portrait one. Go back the other way. But you know, men are another thing that's challenging to do. And the art Sherpa had a man with a pipe. Now I can't even find it. There it is. And you know, I couldn't sleep the other night because of my coughing, because I've been sick. And you know, I had to erase a couple of lines, but he went down rather quickly. I had to adjust his hands, and it could probably still be adjusted. But I'm happy with that, and I would be willing to paint that at this point. You know, it's just, you know, he's okay. It's okay. And, you know, so that's all I think I'm going to share this month on growth. You know, I think that I've grown with doing art. I'm more comfortable about it. Me just sharing it with people is you know, that's a big step in itself, you know, to put it out there and have people look at it. And because you're always worried about how people are going to judge it. But don't worry about that. Just do it. And, you know, if you really want to learn, just keep practicing it. You know, you may decide, hey, you know, I really don't like this, and move on to something else. If you don't like doing the faces, do landscapes. Or, you know, it's all about what you want to do and have fun with it. You know, what you enjoy. And right now I'm enjoying participating with the groups. I'm enjoying doing the videos. And you know, it's just I've come a long way, except with my horses. And I got to thinking about that, trying to sketch out a quick one last night, that, you know, maybe I should put some time into doing the horses. And you know, because that was a pretty quick sketch that I did. But, you know, there's always room for growth and something new to learn. And I've been having a lot of fun doing it. And so that's my share. And I just wanted to say thank you. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. And I really didn't do a piece of art with you. I just showed my growth to you. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.